Hello everybody, welcome back to a new vlog. Today is February 2nd, Monday, and there are sirens outside. I'm sorry I started this at kind of a bad time. And I'm here in the studio today, and I am working on you can't even see it, the piece with the fence and the red center, and this piece which you really can't see either because it's too far away, which is going to be a family tree of sorts. Those are the main two things right now for today. February is going to be fairly busy. We have our first clocking in for unpaid labor event happening on Thursday, and that is a panel discussion online, and that is going to be there's a few things we still are lining up. We have a practice session on Wednesday, and so we're just lining up a few things for that. And then I've got stuff going on with my kids. Older kids are still a lot of work. You have to help them. I don't know, maybe you don't always have to help older kids. I think my oldest kid needs a bit more help maybe than others. So I'm working with him to get things sorted for him as well. On Friday, I'm going to have a fun day with Shamina. We're going to do a little bit of admin for ourselves, and then some fun stitching on the postcard piece, which I'm going to be sending to the Netherlands. So this piece is the one that will be going to the Netherlands, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of stitching on here before I attach it to this card. So that's the week. I'll check in again later. Hi everyone, it is Tuesday, February 3rd, and I'm back here today, which is great. I'm happy to have a consistent 2 days in a row. Right now I'm just tidying up before I head home. I'm also gathering up some threads for these pieces, which I'm taking home to finish. I'm going to finish them this weekend and then ship them out. Well, ship this one. The other ones are not going anywhere. They are anywhere yet. They're going to be pieces that I put in a little free art library in March. So not something I have to worry about right now, but I'm going to bring them home so I can finish working on them over the next while. So I thought I would just, while I'm doing that, while I'm packing up the studio, just chat to you about the day. So I ended up working on the fence piece for almost all of today exclusively. I don't think I worked on anything else. And I was doing that because, I'm trying to get it done, basically. And I'm very close. I think I can get it done next session. It takes a long time to do this technique, because it requires some dry time in between. And so I just have to take my time with it. I don't have a choice. It's just the way it has to go, that I take my time doing it and slowly layer the threads on top of each other with the matte medium. So that's what I worked on. And now I'm just gathering some threads here that I will take home with me for these projects. Do I want any green? Yeah, I do. So yeah, I'm I would say I'm struggling a little bit this right now. And the reason I'm struggling is because I tend to struggle at this time of year. It is a tricky time of year for me. I don't exactly know why. If I was listening to it purely based on astrology, I think it is a difficult time right now. But it's also just this month kind of throws me off. So I'm fine. I usually get through January without much issue. And then when I hit February, I just struggle to be calm and to like sort through things. Life is also like pretty intense right now in terms of like taking care of my kids and keeping us all going. Like we've all got stuff going on that's fairly important, and so helping to maintain all of that for everybody is just, it's one of those things where it feels like it's cutting into my time for myself, and like so I'm trying to prioritize my work and what's going on here, but then I've also got like pretty important things that have to be prioritized for my sons and my partner. And so I'm struggling with that, to be honest with you. It's not always a fluid thing. It can be at times very frustrating, and it can lack a sort of cohesion, and I just feel like I'm floundering. So I do feel that way right now, and it's unfortunate. I wish I didn't feel that way. I wish I felt more calm and, capable of managing things. And I wish I didn't feel that I don't have enough time and I don't have enough, brain space, and that things are overwhelming. But of course, you hope that you don't feel these things, and then you do. So I'm just trying to have some grace for myself. Have some grace, and then just do my best to get things done. And I'm struggling with prioritizing is a main thing as well. So like I'm struggling to figure out what is the most important thing for me to be doing in this moment, from one moment to the next, and that always leaves me feeling slightly unsettled and slightly behind. Like I do feel quite behind right now, even though like I'm the only person putting that on myself, and I know that, but it's easier said than done to be gracious with yourself. So I think being gracious with myself is something that I'm trying to achieve, which is not something that feels very doable right now. So I think that was it for my update for today. I'm going to head home now and go work with my son on his stuff, my oldest son. I am not attending the basketball game today with my youngest son because this basketball endeavor takes hours out of the other work that I need to be doing. And so we decided to have him get a ride from someone else and prioritize him, getting there another way so that we can all focus on our things for today and not put all the focus on his sport for today. So that's kind of one of the ways I'm trying to feel like I've got things more under, in a good flow, is taking one of those things and asking, you know, a community member to step up to get my kid where he needs to go so that I can focus on something else right now because I can't focus on that. So that is that. And I don't know if I'll be back in the studio this week. Tomorrow I have a run through for the panel discussion, which is happening on Thursday. Thursday I have the panel discussion. And then Friday, Shameen and I think I mentioned this the other day, are having kind of a at-home session, you know, making some art there. So that's probably going to be the rest of my studio day time. I also just found out that my studio space is going to be moving, and this building, the owner of my studios has two buildings right now. This building, the people who are in this space are going to be moving next door to the other space, to the second floor, I believe. So that's not something I have to worry about imminently, but it will be something that will be happening in the next, you know, by the next quarter, I will be moving this space. So I'm very comfortable in my space. A change is not necessarily a bad thing, and that's how I'm trying to look at this. And I'm hoping that I'll love my new space even more. And the benefit that this move will have for me is that I will be able to host open studios in my space. So I will be able to participate in some, public interaction in my studio, which will be slightly different than how I've been using my studio for the last 2 years. I guess it'll be 2 years in May that I would have had this studio, so it's not quite 2 years. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's great to have public exposure, more public interaction with my work. So yeah, I think there's pros and cons to this move. I'm just hoping that I can have a really similar setup to this setup over there, because this setup works really well for me in terms of working. And then in terms of showing off the space and having people join me in the space, there may be some tweaks that need to happen, but yeah. So that is the update for today, for this week, and I will check in again with you later. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. I'm here. Looking forward to 2 kind of full studio days, today and tomorrow, and potentially a third one actually on Wednesday. So that would be really great if I can get here 3 days in a row. And going to continue working on the fence piece. I'm hoping I can finish all the red today, and then I can get it ready for quilting and the sandwiching and all that. And I also need to finish up my postcard piece. I need to just get the edges all attached to the backing and get it ready to ship. I want to ship it tomorrow, hopefully. So that is my plan for today. everybody. Today's Monday, last week of February, so last Monday of February, and I thought I would just check in a little bit with you while I'm working. I'm working on the fence. I'm putting the last threads on the background area of the fences, so the kind of three-dimensional parts of the pickets. Okay, so what has been happening? This month has been fairly busy with stuff for clocking in and like kids we've had some illness and some weird headache thing going on with Elliot, and basketball, and I would say that overall it's been a good month, but definitely had some very overwhelming moments, and I know that that's just part of life and part of being a human, is that we're going to be kind of bombarded at times with these overwhelming moments. So I'm just trying to take them in stride as much as possible and not worry too much. I think I'm happy with the pace that I'm on right now. There is I've got about 7 pieces left in this collection, and 3 are being conceptualized and being created as we speak right now. So the apron piece kind of didn't come out of nowhere, but it kind of came in a little bit by surprise. I wasn't really expecting to add a whole new piece to my load of what I was making, but I think that's a really important thing to remember when you're a maker, is that even if you're very focused on finishing a body of work, which I definitely am right now, I'm very focused on getting this work done because I want to be able to get it photographed and start applying for shows with it. Even though you are focused on that, there are moments that spark kind of new ideas, and sometimes you have to kind of let those ideas come to fruition when they come to you. And so that's what I'm doing with this, and I'm happy that this group with the gathered artists gave me this idea, and I'm excited to play with it. And I'm also really excited to be able to use up some materials that I've had for quite a while. And I love when you've got like a sense of what these materials can do after they've sat with you for such a long time. So yes, I'm really excited about this apron. I really do need to get a dress form though. I'm at a stage right now where in order to drape the kind of larger aspect of the skirt that I'm envisioning for this apron, I actually need to have a dress form to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it flat. So I have to focus on that this week, picking that up. And yeah, I'm excited to get the dress form, and then also find out about the status of the studio, because we are going to be moving. I'm going to be moving my studio, which is fine. I'm just not exactly sure on what my next studio is going to be like, how big it's going to be, if it's going to be similar to this, which works really well for me, or if it's going to be something different, and how that's going to manifest. So that will also hopefully be determined this week or next week. Next week I'm actually quite busy, so I'd rather not have to do it next week, but it may end up being that I'm not getting any clarity on the studio change until next week. Yeah, so that's the update. and I will hopefully have a little bit more footage to share with you before the end of this studio vlog, but I can never say for sure how my filming will progress. It changes all the time. So yeah, so that is that, and I will either check in again with you later, or if not, I will see you next month. Everybody, I just wanted to update you. I got a message last night from the person who owns our studios, and she let us know kind of the next steps for setting up moving the studio. So I'm going to be finding out hopefully on Sunday, but maybe not till Monday or Tuesday, what my studio space is going to be like, and then I'll hopefully get a chance to go in and tour the building and see what's available. I'm a little bit nervous because it sounds like things are going to be parceled out based on seniority, and my seniority in the studio is not that high. There's certainly a handful of people who have been there less time than me, but most of the people in the building have been there longer than me. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to get the same type of setup, and that's really concerning. So, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm a little bit uncertain as to if I'm going to get something that, like, how I can adjust the functionality, but I really need a certain width of a space, and a lot of the spaces that are available in the current setup of the studios are very narrow. So they have a window, but they're very narrow. And I don't care about a window. I care about width. And I also care about not increasing my studio rent. So those are the things that I'm concerned about. And but anyway, I'm heading out right now. I'm leaving to go to the studio for my third day in a row, which is great. I love the momentum I was able to get this week. I'm going to continue working on the apron bottom, and I'm going to continue with the fence piece. I'm almost done that, and then I'll be able to start the background quilting of that. And then I also have the printout for the third piece in that grouping of 3 that I can put up on the wall and decide where I'm going to put the imagery. I've just actually decided I'm probably going to add another image to it, but I need to think about it a little bit longer. So that one will just kind of sit there for a while until I have finalized the visuals in my head. Yeah. So that is my update for today. Today is Wednesday, the 25th. Yeah, 25th.